What's up, good people? This is Isaiah. And as we look at the tape... Oh, hold on a second. Can you guys hear me? Let me do this one more time. You know what I'm saying? I said, what's up, good people? This is Isaiah. And as we look at the tape... I gotta make sure y'all can hear me. You know what I'm saying? Anyway... no, I didn't see any peaks in the microphone, so I got kind of concerned, like, oh no, I'm not recording. Anyway, so, as we look at the tape, we're going to be running through the trial of, what is it called again? Avarice? Path, jeez. Where did trial come from? We're going to be running through this dungeon real quick. Okay, just to showcase what it's all about, things like that. If there's any questions, like I said, team I used to finish the final boss, for example, this was it, okay, in the story. What I've been doing recently, though, apart from that, was seeing if there was a difference, or how big of a difference we would have if we, say, ran through, say, normal areas in regards to the Octopath story on different difficulties. I wanted to see if there's going to be a difference in the travel logs that drops. So that's basically the things that I'd be getting awards for. Wait for it. So, not here. There we go. Here. So I've been, like I said, experimenting with the different difficulties. So I went with beginner, standard, veteran, expert, and master. And so far, I mean, if I'm thinking about it personally, after testing this for so damn long, the difference doesn't really matter because the bulk of the travel logs you're actually going to get in the dungeons. You know what I mean? So that's just me. So when I was playing this at master difficulty, and we'll go to closest area I can get into a fight. Sigma district, and we'll swap out Otaha here. Have to level up Cyrus here. As you can see, I don't have all of the Octopath characters maxed out yet. It's on the list of things to do. It's gonna be a while though, if I'm being honest, because I didn't expect to get a collab. You know what I mean? But level 30? What's going on here? Why'd that say level 30? Records, Symphony. Why does that say level 30? Try again. There we go.
Any requests?
Yeah, so that was 75 there, and then, and I did this with, in part 3 of the story got released as well, where I was trying to see, like, okay, is it worth, like, playing the game at master difficulty? I mean, sure, it's more of a challenge, but if you're going for the grinding aspect, is it really worth it? Really, so that was 75.
Nice weapons you got there.
That was probably because there was more enemies there. You know what I mean? So, based on what I'm looking at, it doesn't appear to be worth it. I mean, you can literally run through the entire game, beginner if you wanted to. Like, no big deal. You know what I mean? The only time this actually is impacted by things, so I want to say in the latest area, right? With the dragons and whatnot. Because then, obviously, if you fight at higher difficulties, the different lords or whatever, I don't know what they're called, but as you find them at higher difficulties, you can actually get better drops, you know, which you can then use to go upgrade the equipment, you know what I mean? Things like that, like dragon tears and whatnot. So, other than that, it doesn't seem to matter here, based on my experience. Okay, anyway, just wanted to get that out of there. Looks like they've added Manifestation Chamber. This was not here yesterday. It was just Space-Time Rift and Journey. So this is new. This will just take me to where the manifestation fights are at. So anyway, what we're doing here is really running through the dungeon, okay? And the team I'm using here, same team that I was using inside of Entrana. The only difference is that we replaced his mana with El Seal, okay? And for those wondering, like I mentioned, this was the team I had used to clear the story, you know what I mean, on master difficulty, and the final boss is really no problem. It was a 2-turn kill. I can easily showcase the skills. I don't have El Seal's final skill, because if I did, I would have used that, but I don't, right? And the skill I'm talking about is not that Lear, this one here. I don't have this skill, so I went with the next best one, which was this here. All right, so to showcase that before we jump into anything here, let me just show you what this looked like in practice. I'd probably go fight him again. I think I don't know, considering I can fight everything else. So basically the way this worked, it was Torrent. We use this max, what does it say? This max skill, Purgatorium, and then of course that skill there. So that was all first turn.
Listen.
Here.
There.
There!
Right? Which basically stunned the boss at that point. And then by turn 2, the skill stayed the same for Filmina, and then I switched to this Lair Forent skill, and then Purgatorium pretty much remained, you know what I mean? And that was it, and then the fight was over, you know what I mean? So it was a 2-turn deal throughout the story,
no matter the darkness.
in case anybody's wondering. Worked just fine for me. Now, refighting them is probably going to be a different story, because if you go to refight them, odds are something's changed. Like, guys probably weak against thunder, for crying out loud. You know, versus in the story, it's all elements. Fire, water, and thunder. You know what I mean? So, anyway. Enough of that. Pop back in here, and we're going to run this dungeon real quick. Showcase that. Okay. I've been doing very hard. I'm going to go ahead and do the hard version just to get rid of that icon there. Okay, so make sure I have the right Otaha. Yes, I do. Right, because you do want to get the Traveler's Log, so that way you can upgrade the characters to 5 stars. So, and we're going to go with Shatter Glass.
Sorry,
Being honest
gotta go
here,
sharpen my swords.
Filmina can clear this entire dungeon on her own by herself. Right? You may want to have, like, say, an axe user in the back, and then of course the Octopath character of your choosing that you wish to grind for. But yeah, she'll clear most of this on her own. So
Toss a little coin my way, okay?
There! Light will shine, no
where am I
matter the
going?
darkness.
There's a chest up here.
Next on my route is...
All right, let's keep it moving. Wow. Do I really not have internet? No, I have internet. What the hell's going on? Huh.
Still not out there? No sweat.
What I like the most about this is that it kind of forces you into a position where you don't necessarily have to use an AF bar to take on some of these enemies. Plus, to get the AF to begin with, you have to, like, break the enemy. You know what I mean? And I think that's a pretty cool mechanic, because then it makes it so that if you wanted to take on these bosses without an AF, you can easily do that because you're being forced to do it. You know, so you could probably end of turn that final boss, Traveler's Curse, just fine. Like, I probably could switch out El Seal for, say, Shiguri, for example. He's a water user, you know what I mean? So I believe he has an end of turn attack.
Always best to lead by example, I say. 7.
There we go, that's done. Let me go ahead and get the treasures here. Taking this guy over here.
Only one of us leaves alive. Farewell. Sorry, gotta go sharpen my swords.
Oh boy. I'm gonna continue testing the difficulties in, like, say, getting into a fight in, the regular world, if you will. Because I'm curious, because when I tested it in, part 3, right? Like the Entrana areas, and I just went to Monsters Nest and things of that nature. What I found was the difference wasn't really worth the extra turns. You know what I mean? You know, because you'll have like an enemy survive, then you have like turn 2, right? So I mastered difficulty in the overworld, especially in the Monsters Nest, where you just didn't have to go anywhere and just literally tap one button the entire time. To get bearings, I believe, wasn't worth it, in my opinion. You know what I mean? Still beat it at master difficulty. It's just like, okay, was this really worth the additional challenge, really? Fun, don't get me wrong, but for the most part, it's like,
Sorry,
could be better.
Gotta go sharpen my swords.
Then again, beginner is like too easy, right? With bosses. So.
Shall we eat? Of course, your treat.
But it's an interesting, like, idea, the fact that they had introduced, like, these difficulties to the game, you know?
Time for your eternal vacation.
What I don't know, though, is if that difficulty is actually applied to, like, if they retroactively applied it, you know what I mean? So instead of just for, like, say, Chrono Cross, I believe that's when that started. When the Chrono Cross crossover happened, wow, try saying that 5 times fast. When the Complex Dream happened, if they retroactively apply it to everything else, you know what I'm saying? Just something I'm thinking about, by the way.
Time for your eternal vacation. Futile.
Sorry, gotta go sharpen my swords.
Because if they did retroactively apply it, it makes it so that newer players, right, they can do everything at beginner difficulty. You know what I mean? And clear chapter 13 to 25 typically is going to be chapter 13. Clear all the way up to chapter 13, and then do what they need to do to get through some of these symphonies.
Don't
and
worry, Big Sis has got your back.
Apocryphas.
Farewell.
And things of that nature. The ensembles, for example. Claude's story. Clark's side of things, right? Just a thought. The other thing worth talking about here is, wow, I did not mean to do that. Is people, so many people being upset about the
Toss a little coin my way.
Stellar
okay?
Dream, you know, Stellar Awakening stuff. It's like it's ridiculous. You know what I mean?
Sorry, gotta go sharpen my swords.
I think in the game became pay to win. It's a single player game. Single player game.
Any requests?
Not really you don't have to pay to win. I mean, I watched a video last night. I forget the guy's name. I think his name's Frank
Performance, my
on YouTube, and he had taken on the Iceland's master with 2 level 1 robots, Tetra, and I believe guns. I think it was guns. All right. It took him 14 hours and 50-something minutes to finish, but 2 level 1 robots, Tetra, and guns, and that was it. You know what I mean? So if you can do that, right? Because that's one of the things that people seem to think, that you have to have the latest characters in order to clear content. If that were true, then Oboro was released with the Octopath crossover, and I haven't seen a single video of anybody using them to clear the final boss. If anything, I saw more videos with free characters clearing that final boss. You know what I mean? So, I just happened to go with this water team, and it worked just fine. You know, so I really don't think there's this, like, these are level 80 characters. No Stellar Awakening on any of them. So, yeah, the idea that you need, you know, these level 100 characters, Stellar Board, Max Awakening, all skills unlocked, is complete BS. I really don't think that's the case with Another Eden. You know? And then, of course, the other thing is, because the system is so new, like, they're hearing it from all sides, right? Like, you gotta understand, like, the devs are hearing it from everyone, right? Both global and Japanese users as well. So you can expect, right, things to be fine-tuned, things to change or whatever, and things of that nature. So, for example, let's say, for example, they start hearing, guys, this is going to take us forever to level up these characters. You know what I mean? It takes about 2,500 high-class scrolls to get from 80 to 100, or 17 runs with the current 10 times multiplier in the XP dungeon, right? It's going to take us forever to level up these level 100 characters. Okay, cool. What if they decide to then keep the 10 times multiplier in the XP dungeon, right? I'm not saying they will do that. I'm just using it as an example. Okay, if they hear this from all sides, odds are they'll probably make that change. You know what I mean?
Shall we eat? Of course, your treat.
Again, I'm just using it as an example. I believe it's free to be like, they'll listen to the players and make adjustments when they feel necessary. You know what I mean?
Only one of us leaves alive.
Farewell.
Here. Okay. And I have Cybers, right? Yep. I gotta say, it was hard trying to pick who to give the first tome to. And that's simply because, oh, where we're at? 3,000? Okay. So that's 30, 40. I'm just trying to get an idea on how many times I'm gonna have to run this to get the 80,000. And that's 500, so about 3,500 or so per run. All right, so that's about, what, 22 runs, give or take? That's if I wanted to get, if I went from 0 to 80,000, it'd be 22 runs, but 23 runs to be exact. All right, and that was actually just in the hard version of that dungeon. Okay. So we are at 37,000 right now. Okay, and then of course the very hard, which, I mean, nothing really changes here. Let me go ahead and just level him up to 80. Wow, that was fast. And then just finish up his abilities here. Interesting. His Stellar Awakening here. Ring Guided Star Chart. Now, what I don't know is how on earth I'll get 9 of these. Okay. Because I know how I got the first 3. Yeah, I just don't know how I'm going to get the next 6. You know what I mean? Because it's going to be 3 per character here. And one reason why I would want to do Cyrus is because if we look at this skill, it's a water, magic, water, fire, and thunder. You know what I mean? For his stellar attack here. And that seems pretty cool in my opinion. So I'm going to go ahead and do that there. Star chart to awaken a style. Yeah, sure. Okay, because he hits all three. Yep, that's cool. And as we can see, he only has 20 right now. I can unlock that skill. And I can do this here. And then this here. Right? And just like that, I have all the skills. You know, so it's really about determining, okay, what do I want to unlock here? You know, this says get ability. Not really worried about that. What does this one do? Same deal. This one here, pretty much same deal. So if I really wanted to get him to level up, then I can go for this level here. There's one here. And then there's one right here, which I would just need to get to. So I can either go max HP or spirit, right? And there we go. Now we have, we're at 95. Where's the other one at? Oh, there's one right here. So I can do that there. And then that there. And we're pretty much good. I can go to level 100 right now. And he's still at 16 shadow. You know what I mean? What does this do? Okay. Ability plus here. That's interesting. Ability plus 3 PP. Okay, so yeah, that's pretty much all that is. So for anyone complaining, you know, you gotta have them maxed out. You don't. I did this with literally a 16. You know what I mean? I can go higher than that. You know, for the extra stellar points. Okay, but I got the skills I want. You know, so I don't really have to. I can unlock this one here. Not really worth it. It was like this with Sirius, where I had 30, and I'm like, okay, I can just pick what I want, and I pretty much did the exact same thing. You know what I mean? So, what I'm gonna give them. Now, this is interesting. Now, in this particular case, with Cyrus here, is going to pay to have this man at 80 because of this skill right here. All right, so you can have him set any zone, which is good, especially with characters like Nikoko. Okay, he can set a water zone, fire zone, or thunder zone. Really up to you how you decide to use them. If you need it, like if you wanted to use them, you know, against say the Traveler's Curse, it'd be just fine there. Okay, because he can use all zones. Throw in Nikoko, who's applying that zone to all characters. Pretty much good to go at that point. But the fact that he can now hit for all three, and then of course whatever zone is activated goes first, that's pretty dope in my opinion. You know what I mean? In fact, I actually want to test this. So I'm going to go ahead and throw this in here. And I'm going to take him to, let's take him somewhere where, could you just say tests? What was I using these teams for? I don't know. Yep, I don't know. All right, cool. We're going to go ahead and go for staff. He's in that group there. Shadow. There he is. We're going to go ahead and just remove. Yeah, that'll do. We can probably give him something that allows him to do damage, but that's not the point of this. Really, what we're going for is really to see how that skill works.
When can we fight something a little more delicious?
Now, no zone oh wait, this is probably the worst example to go to, now that I think about it.
Blessings upon you.
Yeah, he definitely do all three. What are these notifications I'm getting? Saying that I can now travel to different areas. Let's see. Let's see. This area here. No. I'm just really trying to see what that is. See? Register to world map. So I can just go directly to the 8th room. That's interesting. So that's another thing worth doing for anybody watching. I didn't even know that. To start going to the different areas you've been to. Really, I'm gonna go to Dragon Palace. There's probably nothing here, but whatever, I'm gonna try it anyway. Go to all areas of the Dragon Palace. Again, probably not needed because this already has a bunch of areas already. But yeah, just go to different areas just to see what they give you access to. You know what I mean? Because apparently we're just unlocking additional areas at this point. Which, I mean, I have no real problems with. Let's see. But yeah, other than that, not bad. I like the fact he can do all three. That's pretty dope. But man, is he going to take forever to level up? You know what I mean? If I had him an additional 120, this is 17 runs. You know what I mean? Which I might actually showcase in another video. We're gonna just sit it out. You're gonna be like, all right, fine. We're gonna just grind, get him to level 100 here, and it'd probably be a very long video. All right, so that's pretty much it for this one. As you can see, like I mentioned before, running my Entrana team. As soon as I get there, right, this team here through the dungeon works just fine. Okay. Other than that, I'm gonna get out of here, and I will talk to you all later.